Hello, everyone. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. And this is time to pick a deck and pick a card. So, again, I've got three decks here. I've got deck number one, deck number two, deck number three. Okay, so go for the one that you like. So, one, two, three. I'm just going to move these out of the way. Okay, so we can start with deck number one. And you can see you've got lots of hieroglyphics on there. This is the ancient, the Egyptian tarot. And I got shuffle. Yeah, Egyptian tarots. There's an S on the word of tarot with this deck. Not sure why, but there you go. Okay, so for people who chose card number one, let me just okay. Oh, the Magician, number one. A trump card, the Magician. Interesting. So the Magician. So for people who chose number one, then you're obviously people who've got quite a lot of talent. You're able to jump into things that you want to do. You've got a good self-belief, a good self-confidence. You can decide what path you want to take, or when you've decided or made a choice about something, you can go all out. You can work towards it, towards your goals, towards your ambitions. You're not afraid of hard work, but you also know, as I said before, you've got the talents to go for something, and you can get there by hook or by crook. And sometimes that may include a little bit of deception, so you need to be careful of that. Try to, whatever it is that you want to do, try to keep to using integrity, honesty, sincerity. Those things will get you a lot further in life than deception. Deception will always come back and bite you on the bum. So be careful of that. Also saying that number one, the Magician often comes out when other people could be being deceptive to you. So it's also a card saying be discerning, listen carefully to what people are saying, watch carefully to what people are doing, and don't judge a book by its cover. Look further into things, do your research. Don't be taken in by scams. If something sounds really good, it can often be too good to be true. So do your research. Make sure you know what you're getting into before you jump into anything. But the Magician can be quite a clever person. This is where the Fool realizes he's got talents. Some of those talents are hidden, and he needs to bring them to the surface. He needs to start using things that maybe he's not used before. So those of you who chose card number one, it may well be that you're in a position where you found that you've got talents that you didn't even know that you had, that may be coming up in the near future, that you put into a position where you've got to start doing things that you've not done before, or maybe it's something that you've thought about doing, maybe a creative project, something like that, that you thought about doing but not actually sat down and taken the time to put into action. So maybe that now is the time for you to have a look and go for it. And another thing I'm picking up with this card as well is with the hieroglyphics there, is communication. And sometimes we need to discuss things with other people, and we may be putting it off, or something may be quite hard to discuss. But and as I said before, try to keep to things in an honest manner, and try to keep integrity and sincerity in your mind at all times. So if you do need to go and speak to somebody about something that's maybe a little bit difficult, just remember honesty is the best policy. If you're upfront about something, you can say it in a nice manner. You don't need to get aggressive. You don't need to be nasty about something. You can be diplomatic, tactful. But when you're upfront and you're honest with someone, things can be cleared a lot quicker. When you tell a lie, it's there for a very long time until you actually own up. But lies will always come out. Lies can't be hidden forever. They will always come out. So be upfront, and communication can be in many different forms as well. Some of you may want to try writing, and some of you may want to try speaking as like a public speaker. And he's standing there, it's almost like a microphone that he's holding with his desk. This is something that you may be a little bit wary of, but looking at that card, it's something that you've got a talent in. So just go for it. Just do it. Maybe a speech that you've got to do at a gathering, maybe a family gathering, a wedding, or something like that, that you have to do a speech or a eulogy, um, or it could be in your career where you want to train people. But you've got a gift there. This card is telling you you've got that gift. And as I say, do your research. Be honest with it. The way you present anything, be honest with it. And remember integrity and sincerity. As long as you keep those three things in mind, you won't go too far wrong at all. So for those of you who chose card number one, maybe that's a bit of a talent that you can actually start bringing out, is your communication with other people. It's a talent that maybe you've had hidden for a while, and now's the time for you to start enjoying it, start using it for your own benefit. Okay, so that's card number one for those of you who chose card number one. Excuse me. So that's the magician. Thank you for choosing card number one, and I'm just going to go to card number two now. Okay, let me just put them to one side. So for those of you who chose card number two, and this is actually an oracle deck, not a tarot deck, so this is the butterfly oracle that I'm using here. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, welcome the new. Okay, this is quite a nice card. You've got the violet and the white representing the crown chakra, and there you've got the darker colours representing the root chakra. So straight up with this one, I'm getting the feeling for those of you who chose card number two, make sure your chakras are balanced, because it's only two that are, well, you've got the green as well, that's representing the heart chakra. So you've got the bottom, the top and the middle. So make sure they are all nicely balanced, and being out in nature, eating natural foods, not processed foods, will help you balance your chakras. Especially if you try and eat all different colours, because in actual fact, the colours of your foods actually represent the different chakras as well. So you can try that, eating lots of different colours in your meals. Now, the butterfly is a very transformative creature. It starts off as a caterpillar, goes into a chrysalis where it sleeps, and then it's transformed. It comes out of this beautiful butterfly with these wings where it can fly through the air and fly quite freely for quite some distance on the air currents. Now, this card is Welcome the New. So, what I'm picking up here for those of you who chose card number 2, I'm just going to use this to put it down. Let me just. Okay, I think you can just about see it there. Right, so, oh, excuse me. Okay, so I just had to pause it to give my throat a good clear. Too much talking. Right, so you've got Welcome the New. This for card people who chose card number 2. The feeling I'm getting here is that you have started new things, whether it's in the home, the career, or hobbies, or relationships, whatever it is. It's new opportunities that have been coming your way. It can bring you a lot of information and knowledge, because all opportunities are experiences that we can learn from, and whether they turn out good or bad, right or wrong, they are learning curves, learning experiences for us, and everything we learn adds knowledge, and knowledge is something that is very useful, is very beneficial to us right through life. So never regret anything. Always see the good thing in something. So even if you feel, oh, I've made the wrong decision, you haven't actually made the wrong decision. It's something that you've needed to learn from, and that is a good thing. You're learning, you're gaining knowledge, you're gaining information from it, even though you may feel that it wasn't the right thing to do. So be reassured that even if you feel uncomfortable with a choice that you've made, that it is bringing you knowledge and information. And so, in actual fact, it is a good thing that you've done. Try not to be anxious or worried about something new that's coming into your life. We often go through changes as well. For the people who chose card number 2, changes can be painful at times. They can be really nice. It can be something very, very beneficial. But as I say, it can sometimes be a painful change. And again, we may need to learn something from it before we see the actual benefits of it. So try not to get worried or anxious if you're going through any difficult changes at the moment. They can often be blessings in disguise. And I think the fates, the angels, gods, the spirits, whatever it is you believe in, they often have a way of putting us through these things to allow us to experience and gain wisdom from making the wrong choices sometimes. So just know that you may have been led there. There may be something, if you don't feel comfortable with a choice that you've made, it may be that there's something that you need to learn from it, that you were led there deliberately by powers that be, and it's best for you to go with it, learn as much as you can, and then see the benefits afterwards. So change can be quite exciting as well. As I said, a lot of the time change is beneficial. It can be beneficial immediately, and sometimes it takes a while for you to actually see the benefit of it. But opportunities, changes can often bring new doors opening. So, for those of you who pick card number two, maybe you've got a spirit of adventure as well about you. Maybe you're looking to go traveling. Maybe you're looking to move home. Maybe you're looking to work further afield or work outdoors. There's a little bit of adventure in things that you're choosing to do, things that you want to do at the moment. Another thing I'm picking up with this card is respecting the opinions of other people as well. Sometimes we talk to people who can have a very different opinion, vastly different opinion to what we've got, and it can sometimes be a bit of a shock. You expect people to think the same as what we do. We all feel like that sometimes, and it can be a bit of a shock when somebody comes out with something completely different, especially when you think something is very logical and very in your face, and somebody else doesn't see it and they think something differently. So be respectful of the opinions of other people, and again, see those opinions as something that you can learn from and grow from. That doesn't mean that you have to take those opinions and make them your own. You don't. You've still got your own thoughts and beliefs. But sometimes the opinions that we don't agree with, the opinions of other people that we don't gel with, often as not, they can lead us to something else. We can do a bit of research on them and they lead us to different things, different information. It's like if you get in a car and you start driving, you're going to point A, but along the way you may see a road, a dirt track, or whatever, and you think, oh, let me go down there, see what's down there, and you may find the most fantastic lake or waterfall or field or wood or something really beautiful that you didn't even know was there. But if you hadn't have taken that dirt track, you would never have found it. So just bear in mind that these opinions of other people, they may be totally different. Um, they may actually make you angry or aggressive. But just think for a minute. Firstly, a person has freedom of choice, so everybody has the freedom to have their own opinion. And secondly, if you do a bit of research on what the person is saying, it may lead you to something that you hadn't thought of before, something that you really do like. So don't turn opinions down, don't close your mind. And I mentioned as well that I feel that some of you have got some spirit of adventure, people who chose this card. So why don't you try to do something completely different from what you normally do? Go somewhere that you've never been before. Maybe go shopping in a different shop that you've never been in before. Take a holiday somewhere you've never been before. If you're traveling, go down the off beaten track. Find something that you've never seen before. and you may actually find some hidden gems. If you're looking for a new job, look for a job that you would never have thought of before. You may find something that gels with you that you were surprised about. Okay, so that is card number 2. And thank you for picking that card. I hope you like it. I think it's a beautiful card, isn't it? So thank you for people number 2, and I'll catch you next time. So I'm just going to go to card number 3. And these have been slowly sliding along the table. This is the Rock Art Tarot. Okay, so for those of you who chose card number 3, okay, so we've got the One of Sensations, Ecstasy. Okay, so we've got some nice colours on there. Now, One of Sensations, this is like akin to One of Cups in the normal tarot decks. And it's a birth of something. So this is putting ideas into action, and it's starting new projects, planning things for the future, something that's going to bring you a lot of happiness. It could even be a new relationship, new friendships as well, communication with new people. And that can always bring a lot of benefits, because obviously the more people we know, the more people we speak to, the more people we talk to and listen to, the more information and the more knowledge we can gain for ourselves, and that is always beneficial. This is also a bit like the whirlpool, a bit like almost like a fingerprint, or could even be a maze. But when it comes to the fingerprints, the whirlpool fingerprint, we're looking at teaching and advising people. Again, communication with other people. So if you're someone with a lot of knowledge, or something that you've been doing for a while, then give it a try. Try and teach other people your skills, your talents, pass it on. It's also like, as I say, a bit of a maze, although they're circles, and also like a whirlpool. It's like water in there. The whirlpools suck people in, so that's a bit of a warning to be careful of scams as well. So if anything looks too good to be true, do your research. It could well be too good to be true. The feeling I'm getting from this card as well, and it's got ecstasy there, that does remind me, of course, of the drugs. So steer clear of those, because they can literally pull you in. And especially at the moment, people are, what's that word? They are putting other things into drugs which they shouldn't be putting into. And I can't think of the correct word to use. And so be very careful of that. Now, with the colours on here, you've got the magenta. Magenta is it's a colour that you can't see. It's in the rainbow, but you can't actually see it with the naked eye. You have to have like an infrared, or a certain type of machine to actually see magenta in the rainbow. But magenta actually it joins the lilac or the purple of the crown chakra with the red of the root chakra. So it joins the two. But also here we've got the blue, the throat chakra. And we've got the green of the heart chakra, the pink of the heart chakra. We've got the red, that's the root chakra. We've got the yellow of the solar plexus. So there's quite a few of the chakras that are represented in this card. So I'd say for those of you who chose card number 3, it does look as though your chakras are, I wouldn't say perfectly balanced, but generally speaking, you seem to be in good health. You seem to be quite positive people, quite happy people, and quite energetic as well. You also like, as it says there, sensations. You like, they call it sensual people, whereas you like things that attract your senses, so things that you can touch, different textures, different sounds, different sights, like all the different colours. You like a variety of those things, that attract your senses. So things like gardening would appeal to you, things like, or even if it's not gardening, if it's just being in the garden with all the different colours, all the different textures of the petals and the leaves and things like that, all the different sights and sounds that you can see when you're outside. These are things that would appeal to you because they attract your senses. This here also reminds me of one of those inflatables when you're in the sea or on the lake, and the magenta or the hot pink, as some people call it, is quite a fun-loving colour as well. And of course, you've got the water sports, fun-loving. So maybe you're quite sporty people as well. Those of you who chose this card, maybe you like outdoor sports, especially in the water, whether it's swimming or just having fun. And what else am I getting there? Some of you are quite empathic people, and you need sometimes to put like a fence around you, because with the empaths, they can pick up sensations and energies from other people very easily. And sometimes some of you don't know how to close yourselves down, and when you're very open and you're picking up things, especially from people who could be negative, or who could have had a bad day, for instance, and you start picking up their anxiety and their worries, it can actually drain you quite a lot, and you need to learn to close it down. This is like a fence being put around. And some people can do that by imagining themselves with a banana skin around them. They zip the banana skin up, and that closes them off from picking up the energies of other people. Some people can do it by grounding themselves, by walking on the open grass, or by using dark red and dark crystals such as black tourmaline, black obsidian, um, red jasper, things like that can actually ground you as well. Some of the green crystals can ground you as well. Some of them are more for the heart chakra, which is love and compassion and caring, which obviously we need as well. But I'm talking about sort of grounding yourself and closing yourself off from those energies when you need to. Now, obviously, you don't need to do that at all times. It's just those occasions when you are picking things up from people that can can be quite strong energies, and then you feel very, very drained from it. The other thing I'm picking up there is like a tortoise, possibly an upside down tortoise, but with four legs. And the feeling I'm getting there is that do your research, take things slowly, of the new projects that you want to start, and that don't just go full throttle into something. Take it one step at a time, and make sure that each step is correct, that you've done your research, that you've done your plans and your organization. And if you're not sure, just write it down. Write your plans down, write the organization, the steps down. It's like when I often say to people, when you've got a ladder, each rung on the ladder represents a goal that you can set for yourself. And ultimately, you want to get to the top of the ladder. But if you run and try to jump to the top, you're often going to slip and fall and hurt yourself. You have to take it one rung at a time. Some people will try and do it in two rungs or three rungs at a time. Some people can do that, but not everyone. Again, as often as not, you're going to slip and fall and go down more rungs than what you originally went up. But when you do it one rung at a time, there's less likelihood of you slipping and falling. There's far more likelihood of you getting to the top quicker, safer, and with a lot more knowledge. And that's where I think the tortoise feeling comes into it. Just take it one step at a time. So these new projects, these new opportunities and things that I feel that you're going into, make sure you've done your organization, your structure, and your planning, and build it up one step at a time. Don't just try to get to the top immediately, because it's just not going to work. Okay, so that's card number 3. For those of you who chose card number 3, I hope you like that one. That's Rock Art Tarot. That's the back. Okay, so let me know what you think in the comments below. And thank you for joining me on this one. And click subscribe, and then you'll be able to pick a card and pick a deck next time I do them. You'll also get to see the other videos from the review of the decks I do, and various other things. And I'll catch you next time then. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you. Bye bye.